y'all, welcome back to my full house. So if you've noticed the title, then you are here exactly for our emergency bins. I am really excited to share this with you guys because, as you know, if you've been following me for a while, I've been back and forth with trying to figure out how I want to set up this pantry. It's been a blessing, but of course I like to be organized and just, I don't know, have it all squared away, I guess, what's going on in my mind, right? And that's not always the scenario with having a budget. You have to be creative. And I want to explain to you. So as you can see here, we have quite a few bins. It's been a long time coming doing something like this because I'm just going to show you a really quick turnaround of my pantry at the moment. They're up at the moment having some painting time. And I love having this pantry table down here for these exact reasonings because we have that beautiful big table we just got from Bob's Furniture. But as you know, being a mom to 8, I mean, even if I was a mom to 2 and I had one younger and older, it's nice to have different spots inside the house where older ones can go, where the younger ones aren't, grabbing their paper or wanting to do the same thing all the time because they enjoy having their little personal space. So you guys having fun?
Yeah. Yep.
So she's drawing a dog. She was painting one, and I was like, wow, you're doing a really good job. So she's doing a little painting there, and he's doing Sonic down there. Hubby's home from work. He's going to help me film this for you guys. But okay, really quick, back to what I was mentioning. So this is just a big turnaround. So we're starting here, right down here. I'm sorry if I made you sick. I wasn't trying to. But over here is where our emergency bins are. And then over here is our 2 deep freezers, our little tray for potatoes, and then we have an extra bag of rice, all of our cleaning supplies and such, and then body soap, shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, laundry detergent down there, our big whiteboard to try to keep track of what we need, and then an extra refrigerator, my white light, I'm sorry, we need some light, it's late tonight. Bunch of different stuff over here for a pantry, seasonings. And then over here where my husband is, he's got, behind him was all of our canned goods, extra dry goods, baking, bread, etc. We will get into that another day, but for now, I just kind of want to explain to you what my emergency bins have in them, the purpose of them, and all those fun things. So let's get started. If you are interested, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below your favorite things that you like to stock up for your emergencies. Okay, let's talk about what emergencies are because I know I've gotten some comments where they're like, where's the emergency? Why are you stocking up? Why are you hoarding? Those are very valid points. However, I want to explain to you my reasonings because everyone has a different reasonings. I mean, some people might hoard and it could be a child trauma they've had or a tragedy. Maybe they lost their home when they were younger. And so they just, there's many reasonings. But let's get into my reasoning of why I stock up the way I do. Number 1, I have 8 children and my husband and I. So that is 10 people living inside this home. And through the years, we have had different things happen with us financially. So that is one of the reasons I also like to be prepared because we are not prepared for when they do have layoffs. We don't know when they're coming. We might get a little warning sign, but by that point, you can't just stock up instantly. At least we couldn't. So over the years, I've learned to put away a little at a time. And if my husband was to ever get laid off, we could be prepared for the beginning stages. Because if you've ever been laid off, you don't just instantly collect. From the government, you have to go through paperwork and then you eventually start collecting. And if you are living from penny to penny, that could be an issue. And so we have lived penny to penny and that was an issue. So I've learned over the years, as we grew our family and everything, to gradually stock up because you never know if that could be a thing again. My husband, I think, how many times have you been laid off? Maybe twice?
3 times.
3 times. Okay. And so those were 3 times with growing our family. It was unprepared. And we didn't have a stockpile like this or a place to even store anything like we do now. So that's another reasoning. And then also there are natural disasters. You could have a tornado, which is common where we live. or you could have a flood, or you could have a neighbor in need. Maybe someone got sick and they had to stop working or they got hurt. There are so many amazing things that you can do to bless your community. And then also when COVID happened, that was unpredictable. So you have illness, you have, you know, we are a large family. So if someone was to get sick in our family, or my husband, and he would have to take off of work, thank goodness we've accumulated vacation, pay, and then sick days and all those things, but we used to not have that. So that's just a few reasons why we like to stock up. I'm sure there's many more I can't quite think of, but anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And as you can see, we have all the way up here, we have paper towel. So I'm gonna start way down here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bins. So I'm gonna start on the very bottom and explain to you what's in each bin, why I'm doing it this way. So let's get started. Okay, so this bin right here, this is the bottom bin that I have. These bins in this rack I picked up from Costco. They were on sale about 2 weeks ago. And they did have many more options. Now they carry those, I think, all the time, or you can order them offline as well. I will try to leave this one in my link. I think it's like a product link in my description, or you'll see if you click down on more details. Anyways, if you just even go to Costco, you'll find them. So this is a great deal. These are very reasonable. These containers, I believe, were $8.99 a piece with a lid. The rack was like $55 on sale. So I was about a little over $100 for all of this, which I think was a great deal. Okay, so this bin, I'm gonna give a little backstory why I decided to go ahead and do the bins rather than the shelves like I have for my other food. And the reason is, honestly, out of sight, out of mind. I was noticing as I started doing a separate shelf for emergency purposes, we were still getting into it. And I understand that, you know, we run out of something. Well, technically we didn't run out of it. We still have it on the shelf for the emergencies. What's the big deal, right? Well, it is a big deal because the whole point of having an extra emergency pantry is for emergency purposes. And we can live an extra couple days before another payday and wait to buy more olives or buy whatever it is, right? So out of sight, out of mind, that's the goal here. I've got a lot of children and I really do want to be prepared for life's adventures and emergencies, right? So right here is basically our yummy snacks. When you have children, you need to make sure you have yummy snacks for emergencies, because it really does help. I mean, have you ever had a child get hurt and you're on your way to the hospital and it's a very sad situation, but you have a sucker? They're a little bit happier, even though they're in pain, right? It helps sidetrack them, and it helps you as a parent to encourage them, love them, and motivate them that they're gonna be okay. So in here, let's get started. We have peanut butter pretzels. One, it's a good snack and it has some good protein in it. We're gonna put that in here. Then I also went ahead and put big children's, I call that, because we have squishies in here for the little ones, but these are for like the big kids. All my teenagers, 11-year-old, they could have some applesauce for an emergency. I hope I'm not bothering you guys by squatting. I hope this is okay, but this is kind of like our setup right now. It's late this evening and I really wanted to go ahead and get this out for you guys. I've been talking about it a while and tonight's the night. So like I mentioned, we have 3 of those in here for emergencies. So when things happen, you can pour it into a cup with a spoon, you name it, right? Ready to go. Another great thing to have on hand is Pop-Tarts. What teenager, what child does not like Pop-Tarts? Then down below here, we have a box of protein bars. This has peanut butter and chocolate chips in it. 10 grams of protein, there are 42 bars. And then we're getting to yummy treats for the babies and the little ones. So we have yogurt squishies. not even open. This is meant for in here only. And then for the little ones, we have applesauce squishies. So there have been times, these have been on our shelf, on the pantry emergency shelf. And we've gotten into them because we ran out before payday. And I am so happy they are in here, out of sight, out of mind. It's been a big blessing because I know we have extra things if we had an emergency. And that's a really good feeling. It really is. We also have a whole bag of cranberries. And then something I also wanted to have on hand was just something that had flavor in it for water. And so I thought this would be a great thing. This was on sale. Again, I encourage you, if you see something on sale and you normally buy it, grab an extra one if you can, if it fits your budget and it doesn't break the bank. You won't regret it. This is going to be very helpful when we need it. One box of gummies. Again, your kids need treats when emergencies happen. You can't just run out of everything and expect them as children to be okay with it. They don't understand that, or they can't even process that. You know what I mean? If they're used to having something, you can't just totally take it away. So, and that's my opinion. To each of their own. This was on sale this past time I went to Costco for $9.99. So we have another one on our shelf. We were just running out of popcorn. And so we also have one in our emergency bin because our kids do like popcorn. It's an easy snack and it's not very unhealthy. All right, so this is our snack bin. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next bin and tell you guys all about that one. So I'm moving on to the next bin. So we've already put that bin back. That is our snack bin. We are now moving on to the second bin. What's cool about this shelf is these bins slide on a rack right here, as you can see. The bottom one just rests on the bottom rack. So 1, 2, 3, slide, and then the top one just sits like the bottom would. Okay, moving on. This bin is dedicated towards baking. So as you will see, as I go through each bin, they will make sense with the topic that is inside the bin. So this was our snack bin, our treats, things that make children happy. This bin is dedicated towards baking. All right, sorry, we had technical difficulties. The camera was falling and you guys were headed to the floor. So we've readjusted. Back to talking about the milk we picked up from Dollar Tree. I picked up 5 of these. 4 are in here, 4 will stay. I have 1 in my refrigerator down here. I am planning on trying. We have not gotten to that yet. You guys have been so kind though, letting me know that it tastes just fine, or if it doesn't taste fine, I can just cook with it. So great ideas. All right, we have 1 bag of sugar because you can bake, right? You can sweeten things. That's a very big thing when emergencies happen. If you are used to making muffins or different things, I don't want to take that away from my kiddos. And my kids enjoy baking. That is a hobby they like. I don't want to take that away from them if we have an emergency and my husband gets laid off or something, right? All right, we have a bag of chocolate chips. This is a great sweetener. Again, easy to sweeten up some oatmeal. Simple as that. Or they can have a pinch of it with like a little trail mix with those cranberries or nuts, things like that. 1 bag of brown sugar. And then we also have vanilla in here. We have 1 thing of oatmeal. Now this is a gradual process. I am stocking up. Of course, not everything I buy will fit in these bins. I might have to make adjustments again. I'm learning. This is something new. I've never thought about having an emergency stockpile separate. I kind of always thought just having extra on my shelves was that emergency stockpile, but you guys made really good points. And then as I was buying for the emergency shelf, as I kept seeing things disappearing, I'm like, we need to have things out of sight, out of mind. So this was the next option for me that I thought would be suiting for our family. 1 thing of oil and 1 big bag of pancake mix. So again, you will not see anything in these bins that we do not eat already on our shelf. Everything that you're gonna see in these bins is things that my family actually eats. And that is a rule of thumb I've always stick to. Even if it's on sale, I'm not gonna buy it. If I know we're not gonna eat it, what is the point? So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and have my husband put this back on. It is really heavy. Okay guys, 3rd bin. So it goes snacks and baking. Next bin is my protein bin. And then I have a couple things in here. I have been creative and I'm actually kind of shocked. Sometimes you remember things as you go and you're like, oh my goodness, we could do that. That would make perfect sense. So in here, you're gonna see these mini 4-gram protein sticks. They're very tiny, but if an emergency was to happen and we had to hit the road and we needed some protein, we could come and grab this and we can get out, right? There are so many good reasonings to have something like this on hand when you have a large family and you want them to get their protein for the day. Over here, we also have some baking crumbles. This was another thing I wanted to make sure I had in my bin. If there was some reason an emergency did take place, you don't even have to worry about cooking this up. You can rip it open, everyone could get a handful and they would be a lot more content and not as fussy. And all my kids love bacon and so does my husband and I, so this is a good one to store in here. And it's something, again, we already eat. Now we also have pepperoni. This is good for quite a while. I do check the dates. I wanted to make that known. I rotate, so if I was to buy more, I would take out what's in here. Yes, this all takes time to do, but it's really worth it to rotate and make sure you're using the old before the new. So this would be good until, I believe it says November of 2025. So we've still got time. It's not even November yet. And that will be gone. By the time I buy more, I will make sure to rotate. In here, we also have some chicken breast in a can. This is easy. You don't even need a can opener. You can just pop it. Yes, I know the shelf life is less because of the pop tab, but we still have time. This is good until the year 2028. So we are only in 25 right now, but we at least have a good 2 years on us. All right, more protein. This is the protein bin. We also have a variety of tuna packs, and this is good until the year 27. So again, regardless, as I buy more, I'm just gonna rotate. But again, an easy thing, you just peel, scoop it out, eat it. Even if you don't have a spoon, you can just toss it in your mouth. If you are in that kind of emergency, you'll still be fed. And then we also have, this is not protein, but I did not want to put this in my snack bin. 1, it was overfull, and 2, this is something that I want to keep out of sight, out of mind, and it would go great with our chicken in a can, or it'd go great with tuna packets. So our kids love these. We can eat 4 cans easily as a large family. But this is something I like to keep in here. Again, it's something we eat all the time. All right, we also have peanut butter. This is organic peanut butter. I think it's a little bit higher in protein. It's unsweetened, it's gluten-free, and it is good until the year 26. So we still have a little bit of time, and then as we go through it, I will just rotate again. We also have jelly, strawberry and grape in here. Remember, we are feeding a lot of little ones. Now, I did not want to store any bread in here. So to substitute bread, I came up with something very creative. If you guys graduated in the year 07, I'm sure well before that, and maybe even a little after that, I'm not sure, but in our school, in the cafeteria, they would sell, if you guys remember, those little peanut butter and jellies with like the crackers on the outside. They were wrapped up. So I had a great idea. We could just put a box of graham crackers in here gradually and make peanut butter and jelly graham crackers. So that's a great way to still feed your family. They all like graham crackers. They all like peanut butter and jellies. I'm trying to find the date on here. Oh, here it is. So these are good until December 25th. So again, we will just keep rotating. I like every time I go shopping, I just look in and make sure that we are good on those dates. So that is everything I have for my protein bin. So far we have done our snack bin, our baking bin, and then this was our protein bin. We are now moving on to supplies. In this bin, this is like all of our toiletries, things in that nature. Now, you will see one thing that is not in here that will be in another bin of supplies, and it will all make sense to why I did this. Alrighty, so in here we have 2 things of toilet paper. Being a large family, you do not want to run out of toilet paper, if you know what I mean. So 2 of these is a great start. Again, we are just doing the best we can, stocking up little by little. This is not something we could do overnight. Definitely not. When you get a little bit of extra cash, grab a little extra when you can. So 2 things of toilet paper for our family inside the emergency bin. And then the rest of the stuff in here basically is such like vitamins for the adults, vitamins for the children. And then we also have things that you would normally use in every day. So my husband likes this dye. I'm gonna put one in here, why not? That is something he likes. We also have a thing of extra nail clippers, something you might not think about, but life does happen and you might need an extra pair of nail clippers. So I had bought quite a few for my family. We ended up not needing one. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it in here. Out of sight, out of mind. You never know. We might need it. It might come in handy. And then we also put in here a thing of Tylenol. We have a lot of children. You might need some Tylenol. I do not have extra Tylenol in here at the moment for my husband and I or my older kiddos. That is another thing I plan on doing eventually as well, and Band-Aids, things in that nature. But at the moment we have vitamins, we have Tylenol for the little ones, we have face wipes for the whole family if needed. And then we have toothpaste in here we picked up together at the Dollar Tree for the little ones. And then we also have some toothpaste for the older ones. Moving over, I also have 6 things of baby wipes. We have a lot of little ones still in diapers. Wipes are something that we really do need. You can make homemade wipes, grab some paper towel, but what are you gonna do in case you have an emergency? You might have to use paper towel, and that's fine too, but if I can store away some extra wipes, out of sight, out of mind, they might come in handy for those times. So 6 wipes. We also have hand soap in here. And then I also have 3 deodorants, 3 different kind. We have a lot of kids and they all like something different. So I wanted to go ahead and stash that away in here as well. And then we also have some things that kids like to use, like their mousse. So I try to do that as well. We bought this together at the dollar store, some shampoo and conditioner. I went ahead and I put one of the ones I just bought to replenish. We had ran out, so of course my kiddos thought I told them to go into emergency bin. I don't know how we miscommunicated that, but they did go into the emergency bin and take some of my shampoo and conditioner, and that's fine. So I wanted to go ahead and add another one back in. Then we have body wash, just something simple. So that is everything I have in here, and this is majority of what we would use anyways when we need to brush our teeth, wash our face, clean our body, wash our hair. And so having these extra vitamins in here, you know, life happens, and if you're not feeling well and if you are used to taking vitamins, it's good to store extra things when you can, like such. Alrighty, moving on to the next bin. All right, so we have one big thing of paper towel. This goes on top of that bin that is way up there. Again, I'm just trying to get basically 1 to 2 of everything that we would normally use, but it's a gradual process like I mentioned. So that is one big thing of paper towel, and I'm actually really happy that I was able to pick that up this time. That was one extra thing I just added to my list. Alrighty, this is our cleaning supply bin. So if you realized when I was showing you our other bin with all of our supplies for washing our body and etc., you will notice one thing that was missing. I do have body wash in there, but I did not put bar of soap. And the reason why, as I was putting it in there and I was shutting the lid, I had this idea that our toothpaste would start smelling and tasting like a bar of soap. One time I went shopping and I bought a thing of soap, bar of soap, and some gum. I didn't think, I was a very young girl, and they combined them in the bag after I purchased them. Got home, had a piece of gum, and I was like, oh, why does it taste like soap? Because this lets off a very strong scent and smell, and whatever it's near is going to end up smelling or tasting like it. So just a little tidbit, if you are storing away bar of soap, do not put it by food. Do not put it by things that you're going to put in your mouth. So in here I do have, let's see, 2, 4, 6 bars of soap. I don't know how quick we go through a bar of soap. To be honest, I've never really totally paid attention to that, but fairly quickly, I would assume, with having 10 people living inside this home. Our little ones don't use a bar of soap. They use baby soap, but still, there's a lot of other ones. All right, we also have one big thing of baking soda. This is good for cleaning and things in that nature. Now, because I do have this baking soda with my bar of soap, we will not be eating out of this. That is a mental note I will know not to eat from, because we do cook with baking soda, but this will only be for washing clothes, cleaning with, things in that nature. And then if you guys remember, we went to Sam's Club and I did a big shopping haul, and I was just picking up, again, 1, 2, 3 things. Sometimes it's just one. We bought this big thing of dish soap. This is not the normal brand we normally use, but I've used it before and it works just fine. One thing of toilet bowl cleaner. And then we also have dryer sheets in here. 1 roll of paper towel. Now, I had put this in here before I bought that big thing of paper towels, so I'm still gonna leave it in here. But see, I was just doing what I could when I could, and now we got a big bag and we're good to go even with that. 1 thing of disinfect wipes. This is something I do like to keep on hand. If we're sick, we can, hurry up and disinfect all the railings, the doorknobs, things in that nature, toilet seats. So it's nice to have one of those on hand. 1 thing of distilled vinegar. Again, we are going to use this for our laundry. So this is a lot of just cleaning supplies in here, like I mentioned. So that is it for my big emergency bins. It's a gradual process. I hope this encouraged you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with a friend, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys really soon, hopefully with my big pantry tour. So take care and God bless till next time. Bye guys.